Love is in the air at OSU. It's almost Valentine's Day.
We will check out the ways Ohio State students are celebrating, or should I say surviving, Valentine's Day.
It's all next on Buckeye TV. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Darian Ippolito.
And I'm Jessica Barboza, and you are watching the Gray edition of Buckeye TV News.
Coming up, we'll hear from Ohio State students on their most dreadful dates, find out what V-Day deals you can't miss, and check on the current price of roses.
Valentine's Day aside, get a glimpse of the upcoming spring gala, which coaches are leaving OSU, and a House bill that's pushing the national status quo for accountants. Most people associate the month of February with love and romance, and here at Ohio State University promotes February as the month of shared kindness. But how do OSU students really feel about this holiday? Mary Callahan has more on the story.
With Valentine's Day looming just around the corner, I've gone out to ask Ohio State students how they're feeling, if they have any plans for the holiday, and if they believe love truly could be in the air for Buckeyes. The Share Kindness campaign, formerly known as Buckeye Love, takes over campus each February to share the love between Buckeyes. Let's see if students are on the same page. Do you feel like love is in the air here at Ohio State, or it's possible to find love here?
I don't know if I have a perfect answer for that yet. I just transferred here, so I haven't been exposed to a lot yet, but I think the fact that Valentine's Day is in the winter, it's really chilly. A lot of people don't tend to want to go out, or they just don't go out at all. But I do think that, the people who have the chance to make a plan, they will go out and do something for it, and that might be special for them. And I do also think really you can find someone that matches your energy, your vibe anywhere.
I think love is sort of in the air. I think you have an opportunity to find a lot of love around here at Ohio State, and I think that could set you up down the road.
With different activities and events scheduled for students to be able to attend, it raises the question of what students will take part in to celebrate the holiday. Do you have any Valentine's Day plans?
I am going to brunch with my boyfriend on Sunday.
For Friday, no, not yet, but you never know. We'll see.
Despite all the opportunities to celebrate on campus, students still have mixed feelings about the holiday itself. How do you feel about Valentine's Day as a holiday?
I would say I like the idea of Valentine's Day and the concept. I wouldn't necessarily compare it to other holidays like Christmas, 4th of July, things like that, but it definitely is something fun for people to celebrate.
I think Valentine's Day is something great. I don't really consider it a holiday, but it's good for, people coming together.
Despite mixed feelings about the holiday, Ohio State students and faculty alike can celebrate all aspects of Share Kindness Month here on campus. This is Mary Callahan reporting for Buckeye TV.
So you're wondering how much this Valentine's Day is going to cost you? Well, according to Finance Buzz, the average price of a dozen roses in Ohio is $101.65. If you're planning a romantic dinner, the cost can vary widely. For instance, a private candlelight dinner for two in Central Ohio is priced at $525 per couple. Perhaps if you want to save some dough, look to celebrate Valentine's Day a week later, as post-holiday discounts often apply to flowers, chocolates, and dining deals. We have plenty of events being held by the businesses on and around campus to celebrate Valentine's Day. The Blackwell is hosting the OUAB's annual Valentine's Day Ball. Professional and graduate students are invited for a night out to enjoy their partners in a romantic setting. Preston Shield has more on that.
Here in Columbus, Valentine's Day is a hot commodity. As we know, OUAB is hosting their annual ball here at the Blackwell. I'm here to interview some of the workers and see what the general consensus is about Valentine's Day here on campus.
Is this an annual thing, or is this the first year for the ball at the Blackwell?
So it is annual, but it's new.
Okay.
I would say in the last 3 years we've had this event and try to make it bigger and better. Last year they had a masquerade theme. And all the students loved it, that they wanted it again.
What ways are we accommodating students with special needs and wheelchairs?
We try to make all of our events accessible to all students. if they're in a wheelchair or if they're sensitive to loud noises. We try to make sure we collect that information ahead of time so that we can make accommodations.
Just looking forward to the excitement, the people. With every event, it's something different. And with this one, it's my first Mardi Gras theme one, so I'm actually looking forward to that.
With it being Mardi Gras, what are you looking forward to with the music? I know that I've heard the DJ kind of talk about it being a little bit dreary, but how do you hope to get it cheery and make sure that people are lively?
Well, I think people will come in lively. Hopefully they get a few drinks and they have fun. And for me, the music always keeps me jazzed and going throughout the night because I won't be here till midnight, so yeah.
To the surprise of none, Valentine's Day has been a hot commodity here in Columbus and will continue to be. For Buckeye TV 19, this has been Preston Shields.
Valentine's Day can be a rather expensive holiday, so here are some of the best deals around Columbus to help you save some money during the holiday. Carrabba's Italian Dinner has a 4-course meal for 2 for only $65. Are you looking for a heart-shaped pizza? There are plenty of places offering them, including Marco's Pizza, Flyers Pizza and Subs, Donato's Pizza, Papa John's, and Giordano's Pizza. If you want something more romantic, JP's Barbecue in Bolton Field and Eddie Merlot have more wonderful Valentine's Day packages. The season of love can get people down thinking about failed relationships, but it's important to note that not every date is a success, and sometimes they make for a better story than a second date. Darian Ippolito has more.
Valentine's Day is one of the most stressful holidays, wanting to make sure your date has the perfect time. So I'm going to go around OSU's campus to hear about some of the worst dates that people have had to make sure you know what not to do for Valentine's Day. What is the worst date you have ever been on?
I think when I went with a date on this guy off a dating app, and when I showed up, his hair was completely buzzed, and I'm not into buzz cuts, so I was like, you could have at least told me.
But what was the absolute worst part about this date?
I think trying to make an excuse for why I had to leave.
Was there anything that was nice about this date that you enjoyed?
He seemed pretty nice, and he offered to buy me food. I didn't want any, but he was nice at least.
What is the worst date you've ever been on?
The worst date I've ever been on was in my junior year of high school.
Oh, okay. And what was so bad about this date?
We found a graveyard that had already been closed, and he said that we should go in, and I followed him, and then we almost got locked in for the night because we couldn't climb back out.
So was there like any redeeming qualities about this date? Was there anything you enjoyed or?
He bought my dinner, so that was at least polite. I guess if you're gonna get someone almost stuck in a graveyard, at least buy them their burger. So that was nice. And we got boba after we almost got stuck, so that kind of cushioned the blow a little bit.
Hopefully you learn from these stories and don't end up as someone else's dreadful date. This is Darian Ippolito for Buckeye TV. As we talk dreadful dates, some schools around the nation may not want to be reminded of the upcoming date of March 1st. This marks the coming of March Madness in just 2 short weeks. Make sure you are placing your bets and cheering on the Buckeyes as we close out March strong for a chance to compete in the yearly event. A blend of tradition and precision hits the stage. The Chinese Folk Music Orchestra is a student organization for students interested in playing traditional Chinese orchestra music. See how this students' organization prepares for an upcoming performance.
Plus, a major legislative change for aspiring accountants in Ohio. Those interested in pursuing a CPA license will now be offered 2 pathways to qualify for the CPA exam. See what this new law will mean for accounting students at Ohio State.
All of that and more coming up.
There are lots of student organizations at OSU. Chinese Folk Music Orchestra is an orchestra full of passionate Chinese traditional music players. They practice Chinese traditional instruments and have performances frequently. The organization recently had a performance for a high school. Let's take a glimpse at the preparation that goes into their performances. Buckeye TV reporter Fan Lin has a story.
This is Buckeye TV. Today I'm going to interview a violinist from the Chinese Folk Music Orchestra. Let's see how she would prepare for the performance tomorrow and learn more about the performance in advance. I come from the Chinese Folk Music Orchestra.
What's your role in the orchestra and how you feel about it?
I feel pretty confident in this orchestra. I play violin in the orchestra, which replace the gaofu, which nobody plays it.
Tomorrow's performance is a big event. Could you share something about the pieces the orchestra will be performing?
We play Spring Festival Overture, which represent the Chinese culture, and it often appears when we have Spring Festival in China.
That sounds exciting. How have you been preparing for the performance?
I often go to Measure Family Building in the practice room, and I prepare 2 hours each day for this piece.
Okay.
Recording for Buckeye TV, I'm Fan Lin. Today we met Chu Yang and learned a lot about the preparation for the concert. Looking forward to hearing about the success of this performance. If you would like to learn more about the OSU School of Music or anything about OSU, please keep following Buckeye TV.
After their national championship win, the Buckeyes have lost their offensive coordinator Chip Kelly and defensive coordinator Jim Knowles. Kelly left to return to the NFL for the Las Vegas Raiders, and Knowles left for Penn State. According to the Columbus Dispatch, both coaches received significant raises, with Kelly getting $6 million a year and Knowles reportedly getting $3 million a year. Great news for accounting students interested in pursuing their CPA credentials. Next year, 2 new pathways to CPA licensure will be introduced, simplifying the process for the next generation of accounting professionals. Jessica Barboza has more on that.
Effect House Bill 238, which eliminates the longstanding requirement that CPAs have to obtain 150 college credit hours to sit for the CPA exam. Starting January 1st of 2026, aspiring CPAs in Ohio will have 2 paths to licensure. One option requires a master's degree and 1 year of work experience. The other requires a bachelor's degree with 2 years of work experience, both still requiring the passing of the CPA exam. Let's see what OSU accounting students have to say about this new change.
I was actually just learning about the specifics of that law pretty recently in one of my accounting classes. I think it's going to be great for the whole industry. We've definitely been having an issue with the aging population. A lot of people are retiring from accounting, and it's deterring a lot of people from even doing it because 150 credit hours, it seems a little bit absurd, especially when it's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be an elective or something that's related to accounting.
This move puts Ohio ahead of a growing national push to reduce education barriers in accounting. A spokesperson for the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, also known as the AICPA, says Ohio is the first state to pass legislation of this kind since the industry-wide debate reignited.
I think it is a really great way to offer more accessibility to become an accountant, especially because we are in desperate need for more accountants. I know that was one of my really good friends on campus are accounting majors, and they talked about that was one of their big considerations when going into school, was picking a school that would allow them to have those credit hours. The other thing I've heard though is that a lot of businesses are still requiring 150 credit hours, so even though it's changing, there might not necessarily be that systemic change within the corporations themselves.
Whether you're a business student studying finance, thinking about accounting, or you're already an accounting student, this bill has major effects on students within the state of Ohio. This has been Jessica Barboza with Buckeye TV.
Coming up on Buckeye TV, we will be learning about the impact on winter weather on OSU students and the students' method of countering the weather.
Also up next, we will be learning about students' methods of saving money for spring break vacations. Skies to snow and ice, there is no doubt that winter weather is upon us in Columbus. How is the mental health of Ohio State students affected by the winter season? Millie Stanhope has the story.
According to data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association, Columbus, Ohio is one of the gloomiest cities in the U.S. Let's see how gloomy winter weather affects college students and what they do to combat it. Some students felt the weather really affected their day-to-day life.
Now it's like pretty dark, so I feel less motivated is like the biggest thing for me.
Others felt the impact less.
Honestly, kind of the same as like the change from fall into winter. It's just like, it's kind of like that midpoint where it sucks no matter what. So you kind of got to deal with it. And like, there are some days that are worse than others, but I feel like that's the same for everybody. But all in all, right now, I'm doing pretty good.
But all the same, Buckeyes seem to participate in various activities to keep them going through the spring semester.
I go on walks sometimes just to like, because it is pretty at night, because it's, and it's cold, so it's not too bad. Mainly just go outside instead of being stuck in my room all day.
Listen to music, spend time with my roommates, spend time with my friends, play video games when I'm not yelling at the video games.
And is there a treat that will always get you out of the house?
A good donut, a good pizza, honestly. Actually, good food would get me out the house.
We heard Ohio State students' remedies for seasonal depression. I'm Millie Stanhope, reporting for Buckeye TV.
Spring break trips are known to get a little pricey. To try and help you cut the cost of your getaway, we've gathered some tips for low-cost traveling. Hot weather destinations are popular for spring break, which means you can typically get good deals on flights if you are flexible on destination. Somewhere less warm is less costly, but just as exciting to explore. Flexibility on dates can also be helpful. Travel midweek instead of on the weekend for lower prices and traffic. Working with the travel agent is another route to consider. They can score you good deals and ease the stress of planning a big trip.
As the most significant traditional festival in Chinese culture, the Spring Festival brings together families and friends to celebrate new beginnings. How do Chinese students at OSU celebrate the new year? Reporter Jennifer Zhang has more on the story.
I'm standing here at OSU Union, where Chinese Student Scholars Society has just hosted a vibrant Spring Festival gala. Tonight, Chinese students gather to celebrate with music, dance, and the taste of home. What do you hope the Spring Festival gala will bring to the Chinese student community and the broader OSU audience?
So we want to recreate the festive spirit and also provide a space where Chinese students can come together just like we would with our families back home. It allows students from different backgrounds to experience the beauty of our customs and performance.
How do you see the significance of cultural events like this in fostering cross-cultural understanding on campus?
I feel like having these kind of events, it really diversify the community to let more students from foreign countries, from Asia, to understand what Chinese New Year really is and understand, oh, I never did this kind of events before, and let them kind of engage with these community that they never had it before.
As OSU continues to embrace cultural diversity, events like the Spring Festival Gala make the campus feel more like home. This is Jennifer Zheng reporting for Buckeye TV.
Welcome the year of the snake. Many people born under the zodiac sign are entering their zodiac birth year. In Chinese tradition, this period is considered significant and sometimes challenging time in a person's life. Occurring every 12 years, it returns the mark of one's zodiac sign. Traditionally, people believe that their zodiac birth year may bring bad luck due to clashes with the Tai Sui, a mythical guardian of fate. To ward off misfortune, many wear red clothing, such as red bracelets, socks, for a symbol of protection and good luck. So go check if 2025 is your zodiac year. If it is, don't forget to wear red for extra luck.
That's all the time we have for today's Gray edition of Buckeye TV News.
Thanks for joining us, and go out and make it a great day.
See ya!